and thank you for joining the Time Is Always Now podcast. My name is Terence Young. I'm your host for the podcast. I appreciate you joining me. This is a podcast that's dedicated to helping people get past their excuses. Helping people get past saying, I'm going to do it someday or one day, and saying, you know what, I'm going to do it right now. Helping people realize that there is only one time to make changes in your life, and that's right now in the present moment. This podcast is about harnessing the power in the eternal moment of now. So thank you for joining me on this podcast. If you would like to donate to the cause, by all means, you can do so. Just go to my website. It's terenceyoungnow.com, and you can donate there. And I appreciate that in advance. It allows me to continue to do what I do, continue to send these messages out into the world. And I want you to share these podcasts, share these messages. Everyone needs to hear them, especially in the times that we're going through right now. So a quick update on the week. Of course, I have my classes that I have out. I have the class on finding your passion. I'm big, it's so important because I want to help everyone be able to find their passion. So if you are looking to find your passion, I created a course, 3 tips to finding your passion and living it right now. Get in touch with me. You go to my website, terenceyoungnow.com. You can find out there more information on that. And the other course is on creating an engaging speech and becoming an engaging speaker. I've been speaking for over 6 years now, and I have a lot of experience on how to engage the audience. So I share that in this course that I created. So if you're interested in becoming a speaker, by all means, check it out. You can go to my website, terenceyoungnow.com, and see it there. And the 12 Powers. I did a course on the 12 Powers. Again, you can go to my website, terenceyoungnow.com, to see that there. Coming up, I'm working on the Christmas concert, so I'm excited about that. You'll be seeing an announcement on that this weekend for sure. For the Christmas concert I'm going to do on Facebook Live, so I'm excited about it. Looking forward to doing some Christmas classics and doing some new twist on Christmas songs as well. The calendar has been full. I've been booked to speak all the way through January right now of next year, so thank you for that. I'm excited about it. If you want to know where I'm going to be and when I'm going to be speaking, how you can see it, whether it be via Zoom or live on Facebook or whatever, because all of these different spiritual communities post them different ways, just go to my website, terenceyoungnow.com. You can see my calendar, and it will show where I'm going to be, and then you can find out how you can view that if you're not locally. And if you are local, of course you can come to visit. And if you're not local, you may be able to see it anyway because it'll be posted on YouTube or Facebook Live. Everybody's doing that now in this time that we're in. So that's pretty cool. New projects coming up. I'm going to be working on some new music, and I'm going to be working on a meditation CD. This time, not just music, but actual me doing the meditation. I got a lot of feedback that people want. They love my meditations. Just like when I do my Friday morning meditation every Friday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live. So people love that, and what they want me to do is create a CD. So I said, hey, if you guys want a CD, I'm going to create one. So I'm going to be working on that. That's part of the plan going forward, and so stay tuned for that. It's been a busy week. We've been talking about power all week. That is what this podcast is about. Our word for the week, our focus on this week has been power. And how are you using your power? So I did a Facebook Live on this, and I want to share this on my podcast as well. There's some quotes that I used, and I'm going to go through those quotes and kind of give you an idea of how you can think about how you can use your power better, how you can utilize your power to change your life, utilize your power to change your world, utilize your power to change your experience and what you experience here and now. It's so important because we have that power to do it when we recognize it. It's so important. So the first quote that I did was the power is the ability to do good things for others. Think about this. We all have power, right? We have power in some ways, but power is the ability to do good things for others. I love this. Like for instance, when I'm speaking, like I have power because I'm the one giving the message. I'm going out wherever I'm at, okay? So when I share my message, especially when I'm talking about addiction and what happened with me and how I was able to turn my life around and change it, and move forward, I am able to take that power and do a good thing for others, because then I can share that message and it empowers them to make a change in their life. I've literally experienced that. People come up to me and say, because of your story, because of what you shared with me or with my son or whatever the case may be, or with my daughter, she or he has changed their life, or I have changed my life because I saw that you could do it too. That is the key. That is when you're using your power to do good for others. What is it in your life where you have power, but are you using it to do good for others? Think of this: when you're in a leadership role, or when you've been at a job and you have someone in a leadership role. If you liked that leadership, that person, they probably were someone who respected you and listened to you, talked to you, smiled with you, you know? And then if you had someone in a leadership role that you didn't like, they probably abused their power. They probably didn't respect you, didn't listen to you, you know, or micromanaging you, or whatever the case may be. They were abusing their power, and it strained the relationship. Power goes both ways. You can use it to demean people and put people down, or you can use it to do good for others. How are you using your power? In every situation, in every level of our lives, we have some kind of power. Whether it be a parent or whatever, or a worker, or in a business setting, whatever it is. Ask yourself, how am I using my power? How am I using it? There's a great quote that I used earlier. I think I used it today, as a matter of fact. It's like, any person, or any man can handle adversity. But if you really want to test someone's character, give them power. Abraham Lincoln said that. And that's so true. Anybody can handle adversity. Anybody can handle adversity. Anybody can handle things when things are going great. But give somebody power, and then you'll know who they truly are. Their true characteristics come out. What are you doing with your power? What do you recognize in your world when you see people who are in power? Is that the kind of person you want to be? Is that the kind of person that you respect? When they have that power, then you see who they truly are. So use your power to do good for others. That's what it's here for. That's what it's about. That's so important. Second thing is this. I love this. Turn your pain into power. Turn that power into growth. Turn your pain into power. Turn that power into growth. I love this because as a runner, I do it all the time. It's just the other day, I think it was Wednesday, I went out to run sprints around the track. So speed work is hard work. If you're a runner, you know what that means. So you're doing high intensity interval training, as they call it, HIIT, H-I-I-T, high intensity interval training. You're running really, really hard to increase or boost your cardiovascular ability. So it's painful because you're running, right? You're running hard, but turn that pain into power, meaning the running of those sprints gives you more power. What does that mean? Well, it gives you more power to be able to power your cardiovascular system and your muscles and your legs, right? To be able to run farther at a faster pace. So that's the whole goal, right? To be able to run that marathon or whatever it is for you faster. So that's why I do it, right? My whole goal is to qualify to run the Boston Marathon. So in order to do that, I've got to train my cardiovascular system. I've got to turn that pain of those sprints, those track sprints, into power, my cardiovascular system working better, and then turn that power into growth. So I grow through it, and I'm able to run faster at the marathon distance at a faster pace. That's how it relates to running. How does it relate to your life? What is it that you're going through right now? Why don't we take this pandemic that we're going through right now? This is painful, certainly for some people, maybe not for everybody, but a lot of people are going through something painful right now. How can you take that pain, turn it into your power, and then use it for growth? If you've ever had a relationship, you've probably done this. You've taken that pain of losing that relationship. If you lost that relationship, right? You turn that loss into power. You say, you know what? I didn't need him. I didn't need her. I'm better because they're not around, right? You use that power. You turn that pain into power, and then you grew from it. You said, now I know what I want out of a relationship because I know what I didn't want. I was in that. You turn that power into growth. That's so important. Turn your pain into power. Turn your power into growth and move forward through your life. It's so important. How are you using your power? So good, so good. The last one I'm going to share with you is this. Sometimes the greatest power is simple patience. I shared this on my live as well. Simple patience. If you have kids, you know it's tough, right? For in many ways, when they're little, when they're asking all those questions, right? They continue to go on, and why? Because they're curious. They want to know. And you got to be patient because it's hard sometimes. You're like, oh, will you please just stop asking me why or she, right? But that's a part of it. That's a part of being a child. When we were a child, we did the same thing because we want to know. Why? Because all these things are new. Everything is new. But here's the thing. When they get older, you still got to be patient because now they become adults. I've had a conversation with a friend of mine once, and we both have adult children. And she was telling me how it's so much harder now because they can make decisions that truly can affect their lives, and we can't stop them. I was like, yeah. See, when they're little, they can't make those decisions for themselves. We make them, so we can protect them to a certain extent. But when they become adults and they're making a decision and you're like, no, don't do that. We can't. You know what we have to do? We got to show them love, and we got to be patient. We got to be patient because that patience is power. If we just listen and we share our knowledge, our experience, and let them make their own decisions. And that in itself is power. And I tell you, it was funny, my neck was bothering me a couple of days ago. And I'm as I'm going through this week talking about power and then talking about patience, I'm like, I gotta be patient. Thank God my neck is so much better now than it was 2 days ago. I mean, I could barely move my head like this. I don't really know what I did, but it's better now. So I had to use patience to get through that, right? Patience is power. Think about when you're learning a new skill. I love this. You're learning how to play the piano, right? Or the guitar for that matter. Either way, right? It takes time to learn it. I remember when I first started learning how to play the guitar. I'd already learned the basics of the piano. I really wanted to play the guitar as well. One of my friends said, hey, you're going to be a worship leader, you got to learn the guitar as well. You just got to. Everybody does. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Grabbed a guitar, that's 15, 20 years ago now. But it was so hard. Just pressing your fingers onto the strings, right? It seems like it's easy when you see someone else do it, but then you put your hands on it. If you've ever attempted to play guitar, you know what I'm talking about. You put your hands on there and you strum, and it doesn't make the same noise. You're like, why is this person, this guy, this girl on TV, they doing it looking so easy? It takes patience. It takes patience to learn how to do it. It takes patience to learn the right pressure to put on the strings. It takes patience to get the right strumming pattern for whatever song you want to do. It takes patience to learn how to do bar chords where you're barring all 6 strings with one finger. It takes patience. And that patience is power, because if you're patient, you can master it. Here's the flip side of that. If you're not patient, you'll give up. You'll give up. Patience is power. Don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your hopes. Don't give up on any of those things. Have patience, right? You have to love something enough to risk being bad at it so you can be good at it, right? You have to start, and you have to start in the beginning. Les Brown says you don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. You have to. You got to start somewhere. Everybody started whatever they do. Whoever's a master at anything, they started as an amateur. They didn't know what they were doing. Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, who would name anybody you want. No one of them just was born and they were great. They had to become great, and they worked at it. And they had patience with their craft. What craft are you working on? It doesn't have to be sports. Is it business? Is it art? Is it photography? Is it lawn mowing? Is it cutting hair? It doesn't matter what it is. Are you patient enough to work on your craft? Because that is power. I can tell you this: if it's your passion, if it's the passion that you have, that the purpose that you're here, the reason God put you here, you'll have no problem finding that patience. You know, that's why I created the course that I talked about earlier, is because if you're working in your passion, then you're patient. Because it doesn't even come up as something that you would think about. You just do it. And because it's in you. You're not pushing towards it, it's pulling you when you're working in your passion. That's why it's so important to find your passion. If you know what it is or need to know what it is, contact me. I can help you out with finding what your passion is. That is my goal. That's what I am. I am a mindset coach. I'm talking to people up here about your mind, changing your consciousness, your mindset, to recognize, hey, I can change my life, and I can do it right now. And I need to find that passion, that thing that drives me, the things that moves me. That's what I need to be doing. Every single person in the world needs to be doing this. This is what the world needs. The world needs more people who are on fire for what they love to do, who are working in their passion. That will change our world, and that's power. How are you using your power today? If you use it in that way, and be patient with your power, and if you use it to do good things for others, if you turn your pain into power, then you will be able to unequivocally say, I own the now, and I have won. I appreciate you joining me today for the podcast. Make sure you share this podcast. Push it out there. Share it with your friends, your family. Put it on social media. People need to get this message. Everyone can benefit from hearing a message like this, especially in these times. So feel free to share it. And I appreciate you joining me again. With that, I am going to sign off. Again, this is Terence Young. Remember, the time is always now.